Lovely bell there. All right, we've talked about how to open photos and how to open documents. Now let's talk about how to remove backgrounds from objects. Okay, the easiest way to do this is if you have a solid colored background like this random stock image that I've pulled off the internet. This background is completely white. Okay, so I can come down in here. I have different selection tools, right? We've talked about the selection tools, the marquee tools, the lasso tools, and the selection tools. Now, what we're going to talk about most here in this little video is the Magic Wand tool. Magic Wand, what it does is it goes through and it figures out, okay, everything in here is one certain color, so I'm going to select everything of that color that's connected to that same color. So if I click in the like more complicated areas, it's not going to select very much. Okay, because there's too much variations in the way the colors react to one another. But watch what happens if I click in the white area surrounding this sandwich. See how it's selecting just about everything. It's not getting the little words down here and it's not getting the words up here. But it's doing a pretty good job of coming right in along the edge of that sandwich. Now, is it perfect? No. You can see down here there's still some white around the edge and things. But if you're wanting to take an image and remove most of the background so that you can put it into a document and have text wrap around it, or that you can easily compose it with another image with a solid colored background, this works pretty well. Okay, remember Command D is deselects, right? So my image over here, notice its background is locked. What I have to do is I either have to go to Layer, Duplicate Layer to create a new layer. That's always probably the best way to do it. That way you always have the original down here saved in case you need to make any kind of changes. Alright, so your original's always there and not untouched. And then you're working from a copy. Now if you're very confident, you can come in here and just double click this and change it from background to layer 0 or whatever you want to call it, and it will unlock that layer. Either way, you need to have an unlocked layer. Again, my recommendation is that you always do Layer, Duplicate Layer. And you can name it, again, just like in Illustrator, you can name this whatever you want to. Okay, so we're going to select, and then all I have to do is hit Delete. And it doesn't always change, but watch what happens if I turn off this background. The background's still on. Remember the eyeball? Clicking the eyeball turns the layer off. See how it's got that white and gray checkered pattern right now? That means there's nothing there. Okay, so if you take this out and put it somewhere else, there's going to be no information there, so all you're going to have is a sandwich. Okay, Command D deselect. Notice the words are still there. I could easily get rid of those with my marquee selections. Just marquee around them and delete them. And there's my sandwich. Okay, let's look at this doing it in another way. Again, another random image I pulled off the internet. Try to make sure that you're using stock imagery and not regular imagery when you find it. Go to different stock sites and pull off your images. Okay. This image, notice that I've got some areas in here that are very close to being white, right along the edge. Okay. And originally my tolerance, I'm going to set it back up here to 50. Watch what happens if I have my tolerance set too high. See how it comes in and selects parts of my image. Now I can hold down Shift and click in some of these areas, and all it's going to do is add to that, so I don't want to do that. The easiest thing to do is to change your tolerance and make it a relatively low number. Watch what happens when I change this from 50 to 10. Okay, see how it selects a much cleaner version. Okay, again, Layer, duplicate layer. Turn your bottom layer off. Okay. So you can see again that the background is now completely gone. Okay. So again, I can take this now and put it somewhere else with a different colored background. I can make a new layer here and fill it with a color. Okay. You can see that it's still got kind of a bumpy, rough edge around that. We'll talk more about that later on, how to refine these edges. But for right now, all I really want you to do is understand how to select a simple colored background and how to refine that by changing the tolerance.